Typically, when a man says he is tired, it doesn't mean we need to sleep. It means we desire rest. And there's a major difference between the two. Sleep is an unconscious state that provides physical and mental relaxation, but rest is a conscious state of freedom from anything that wearies the soul. Shalom.
Welcome back to Inner Work. Today, I want to talk about something that stopped me in my tracks. I recently heard a husband and father describe how busy he was. He talked about being present, showing up for his wife, being there for his children, working, providing, handling responsibilities. From the outside, it sounded like the picture of what many people would call a good man. But then he said something deeply unsettling. He said he was so exhausted that he hoped one day he would get cancer so none of this would be a worry anymore. And that statement deserves our attention, because this is not really about cancer. This is about what it reveals about many men. This is about the possibility that some men feel they need a catastrophic event to be allowed to stop.
So let's go to Rick, and I guess I'm 7. Hey, Rick, what's up, brother?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, dude. H-Tone! Hey,
all right, so
I'm just shouting out Houston here. Go Astros.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna. Who knows? But hey, man. So what's up? How can I help?
All right, 45, married, 5 kids.
Whew.
Happily married, 1 kid, special needs, and he's awesome. So work, very active with the kids, coach, doctor appointments, parent-teacher conference, definitely, all in. Cook, I feel like I'm very active. I think my wife would agree that I'm a very hands-on, always helping. Okay. My problem is, and I want to say, hold on, I want to do thank you because your show, you taught me what anxiety is and how that can lead to depression.
Yep.
And so I was always thinking, I was like, well, I'm just a down guy, but I was really experiencing a lot of anxiety. So I thank you for that.
You got it, brother. Thanks for listening.
And so I was I've been reading up on that. Well, anyway, so I get down in the dumps I get anxiety because I suck at everything I do. It seems like I suck when I help out the kids. It sucks when I coach their teams. I suck at work. I suck when I make dinner. It seems like when I drive the car, my wife's always correcting me, and I'm just worn out. And
Let's sit with that for a moment. How heavy does life have to feel for sickness to sound like relief? For many men, identity has been built around performance. What do you provide? How much can you carry? How much pain can you absorb without breaking? A lot of men have been taught that their worth lives in what they do. Be strong. Be dependable. Be the protector. Be the provider. Don't complain. Don't fold under pressure. So when exhaustion shows up, it often gets interpreted not as a warning sign, but as part of the assignment. The problem is that chronic burnout doesn't announce itself with sirens. Sometimes it sounds like, I'm just tired. I just need to push through. Everybody is counting on me. And over time, that becomes emotional isolation. Many men are physically present in the home while emotionally disappearing inside themselves. They are carrying financial stress, trying to be emotionally stable for everyone else, suppressing fear, suppressing fatigue, suppressing resentment, suppressing the need to say, I need help. What makes this even more dangerous is the belief that rest must be earned through disaster. Some men feel they need a socially acceptable reason to stop. A heart attack, a breakdown, a diagnosis, a loss, something catastrophic enough that no one can question why they finally sat down. That is heartbreaking, because it means rest no longer feels like a human right. It feels like something only tragedy can authorize. And this is where the inner work begins, because if a man only believes he can pause once he is broken, then he is already living too close to collapse.
And I just get like, I can't think, I look to the future and I don't get excited about anything anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just, and I'm not like physically worn out. I'm like mentally worn out.
Yeah.
This isn't about blaming men. This is about understanding the culture many men have inherited. A culture that often says, if you rest, you're lazy. If you speak up, you're weak. If you need help, you're failing. So instead of asking for support, many men fantasize about escape, not because they don't love their families, but because they no longer know where they exist inside the responsibilities. And that's the silent crisis. A man can love deeply and still be drowning. He can be a present father and an exhausted soul at the same time. So what can be done right now before this becomes worse?
And I guess and what really gets me, just throws me for a loop, is when like I got to go to like the latest test result on my child's cognitive disability and stuff like that, and I just hate those.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, because during life, we run, we play, we goof around, we go to the store, we tell jokes, and I get real angry, I guess, when someone puts, it just kills me when someone puts a score on a piece of paper that tells me, or is supposed to tell me, like what he can't do or what his limitations are. And it takes me like about a month. And so what I started doing is and I get that something's wrong with me. And so I start writing down my concerns, and I start, charting them.
Mm-hmm.
So like diet and everything, alcohol intake. And I try to track, like, is there, what am I doing or not doing that may make me vulnerable to getting down?
Yeah.
And so changing my diet, changing workouts and all that stuff, changing what I watch, changing how much I read and stuff, changing how much sleep I get. But really what it is, I just feel like I'm never good enough in anything I do.
Yeah.
And my wife would say I do a lot.
Yeah.
Here are practical steps that can begin immediately. 1. Name the exhaustion out loud. The first intervention is honesty. Say it plainly. I am overwhelmed. Not after the breaking point. Now, silence feeds burnout. Language interrupts it. 2. Stop glorifying nonstop sacrifice. Being busy is not the same as being healthy. Presence means little if it costs your mental and emotional stability. A father who is rested is often more present than a father who is constantly performing exhaustion. 3. Ask for specific help. Not vague statements. Specific asks. Can you handle bedtime tonight? I need 1 uninterrupted hour to decompress. I need help with a schedule this week. Practical support lowers emotional pressure immediately. 4. Schedule recovery like responsibility. Rest cannot remain optional. Sleep, quiet time, exercise, prayer, journaling, walking, therapy, and time with trusted men must be treated as necessary maintenance, not rewards, requirements. 5. Build a space where men can be honest. Every man needs at least one place where strength is not measured by silence. A brotherhood, a counselor, a trusted friend, a men's group. Healing often begins the moment a man hears, "I felt that too." Men should not need catastrophe to deserve relief. You should not have to be broken before someone believes you are tired. This is the work, not just surviving responsibility, but learning how to remain whole while carrying it.
This has been Inner Work. Take care of the man who takes care of everyone else. Thank you for listening. We'll catch you next time. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace.